Welcome to Paddock Pass, folks, and you join us in front of the most expensive car park in the world. Everybody is in mid-pack-up after the Grand Prix has finished. And what a Grand Prix it was. A Mercedes 1-2 on the grid, a Mercedes 1-2 on the podium at the end of it all. It was the same positions at the end, first and second, as it was on the grid itself. But a lot happened in between. New start procedures, everyone was talking about that. Some had good starts, some had bad starts. None had a better start than Lewis Hamilton. He promptly took the win here in Belgium. It was a win that meant a lot to him, with Nico Rosberg just behind him. Lewis, as you're about to see, absolutely delighted with his victory. Nico Rosberg, very short, only 2 questions to him. He has other things to think about right now. He has to fly home. There's a plane waiting for him because he is imminently about to have the sincere, overwhelming joy that becoming a father represents. So here are the 2 Mercedes drivers, 1-2 in the Belgian Grand Prix. Absolutely fabulous result, a peerless drive. How good does it feel to get back on that top step after the summer break?
I feel it's amazing. Sometimes you wonder if a good thing is followed by another good thing. I had an amazing holiday, and I'm thinking, is it gonna, coming in this weekend, is it gonna follow? Is that happiness and that joy gonna follow? And it has. Qualifying was ridiculous, and then today is the race. Yeah, I was happy with it. I did what I had to do. There was no point in which I felt I had to over push or overdrive, and just look after the car. The balance was really nice, so I'm really happy with the outcome.
Last year, Nico took the pole trophy. This year, nobody pretty much can beat you to pole position. You said that this year you're well on top of Sector 2 here, which is something you've never been on top of before. How much do you feel that with each passing race you're becoming more and more complete?
Well, definitely with qualifying, I think generally this year, just as growing, in my 30s, and I'm growing into my 30s, the start of a new era for me, and I definitely think as I'm growing wiser and stronger, I think mentally also, with the pole positions, with the results that I'm getting, I think I'm growing generally as a man. So I think that's reflecting in how I drive and the decisions that I take in a lot of things I do.
How worrying is that for everyone else?
Hopefully it should be very worrying.
Good result, but difficult start. Talk us through the race.
The start was bad, just got it wrong. And then after that, it came through well and was attacking and trying to catch Lewis, but he was very quick as well. So I got close, but it wasn't enough to launch any sort of an attack. So great job from the team. The car was awesome again, unbelievable. Great pleasure to drive that car. Then Lewis Vettel's tire exploding really bad. That's not allowed to happen. So we really need to think about something for next 2 weeks in Spa, in Monza, because both of us were really, really lucky. Both of us could have had huge shunts, massive ones on these high-speed tracks. So that's not good.
The middle stint for you on the harder tyre, you had really great times in comparison to Lewis. Did you feel at that moment the race could have come to you?
Yeah, but then in the end he pulled away. So it was just I was good in the beginning, then he was good in the end, and it was pretty close. I was coming closer, but not enough.
A lot of wind in my last link, apparently. Patrick's moved me round the other way. But what that does do is show you the sky. Look at that. And that's why it's windy. That's the weather that was coming in the last sort of 15, 20-odd laps of the race. Ubimet predicted it would be 5 p.m. when the rain hit. I'm going to show you this now. It's 26 minutes to 5. Pretty much spot on. Thunderstorms, lightning. It's going to be a downpour. We've been waiting for it all weekend. Anyway, let's get back to the racing itself. Sebastian Vettel running P3 with a couple of laps to go. Romain Grosjean catching him up. And then the moment which I think everyone is going to be talking about following this Grand Prix, Sebastian Vettel's right rear tyre let go. Now, of course, everybody is saying, well, Nico Rosberg's right rear tyre let go on Friday. Can you compare those 2 incidents? Yes, it's the same tyre. Yes, they both let go on the track in a very fast place. Sebastian Vettel's tyres, though, were, what are we looking at? How many laps, Jason? About 30-ish? Yeah, about 30 laps Sebastian Vettel's tyres had done. At the start of the weekend, the FIA put a curb on the inside of Radion, the top of the hill through Eau Rouge. Throughout practice on Friday, no drivers went over that curb. And if you look at photographs from Friday, you'll see they are all within the white lines. They're within track limits. Compare that to today. Compare that to qualifying yesterday, but particularly during the Grand Prix today. Look at photographs, look at the replays, look at how many drivers were cutting that corner. And on the lap in question where Sebastian Vettel's tyre went, All 4 wheels were over that white line, where that curb had been on Friday. I don't think the two are unrelated. Old tyres and running outside track limits. Not saying that's what did it, but I'd say the question needs to be asked. Anyway, Sebastian, so unhappy, walked into the pen, an expletive-filled interview apparently with the BBC, and promptly left. So we didn't get to talk to him. We did get to talk to Romain Grosjean. It's been 2 years since he had a podium at a track where he had a first lap crash that caused him to get banned for a race. So much of what has created Romain Grosjean, the driver, is encapsulated within this circuit. Huge emotion from him. It meant a huge amount. So here's Romain Grosjean. How much did the team need the result today? How much did this result mean to the team?
I think it's a human story, Formula One, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one to cry on the last lap.
I don't think you were, mate. But talk us actually through the race coming to you today and the strategy. At what point did you feel it was on? Was it when you got onto the back of Sebastian?
I think it was early on. I felt the car was really good. I was a bit blocked by Bottas and then could overtake him. Then we pitted the to overtake him again. And then the pace was great. We did overtake Ricciardo, then Vettel, then Perez, and then I was catching Vettel. I didn't know if he was stopping again or not. I knew doing 21 laps on the tyres for us was a long stint, but they were doing a one-stop strategy, which was very, very aggressive. And I was keeping all the energy for the last 2 laps and give it everything. So P4 would have been fantastic. P3 is a dream.
Did you say that they were trying something different? They were trying something aggressive. When you came up to the back of Sebastian, particularly in those last few laps, what did the state of his rear tyres look like?
It was strong. It was starting to struggle. It was clearly having a lot of degradation. It's a Ferrari car. They've still got a lot of traction, which doesn't make overtaking easier, but they were struggling.
And when he got to the top of Radion on that lap before it let go, visibly over the white line, how much of an effect do you think that would have on an old set of tyres running off track like that?
I don't know exactly. It probably didn't help, but I think I was really focusing on being behind him. I had a massive moment behind Bottas early on, because when you follow a car closely, 300 kph through a rouge is always a tough moment. And I was thinking about my DRS, my strat, and everything I could do to go the overtaking, and then suddenly I saw the tyre blow off. So then the first question is, where is the car going to go? Where are the debris, and what can I do to avoid as much as I can everything?
People come from all over the world to the Belgian Grand Prix, but not Mark Hunt. Where's Mark? In Austin, Texas, and he bailed on this race here in Spa. More for you, Mark Hunt. Thanks, boys. Should be here. You missed a cracker. There you go. It's been a great race. But Mark Hunt, you missed it. Thanks, boys. One guy who had a great race, Danny Kvyat, on the back of his first podium in Hungary. Had an absolute blinder here, passing people just for fun at the end of the race. Look at how happy he is. Listen to his reaction, Danny Kvyat, after the race. Just delighted with himself. Danny, what a great race. Talk us through it from your perspective.
Yeah, like you said, we felt a great race, especially the second half. It was our plan, more or less, to have an aggressive last stint, and it worked out really well. So we have to be happy with our work today. A few really nice overtakes. I didn't have so much adrenaline for a while. A few really close ones. End of straight, we're going almost 350, and wheel to wheel is pretty cool.
You look almost happier than you did with your podium in Hungary. Was that a harder fought race for you?
No, well, obviously you carry some amount of confidence from that kind of podiums, those kind of events, but in the end today was everything from zero, so I had to start the race, and beginning wasn't easy again because we had to fight some slower cars, and then it started to come our way.
When Daniel retired, was there any worry that the issue might also affect you?
Yeah, I think we had to do a few extra warnings, but in the end I could still focus on my race, and it was still okay.
And then we heard how much the overtaking moves meant to you on the radio. One very excited exclamation after a pass. How good does it feel to pull off an overtaking move around the outsides at Spa?
Yeah, well, I think we almost touched with Felipe. It was very close once. I thought I'm not going to make it. I thought I had to cut the corner, but in the end I just stayed on that curb, and I managed to come back on the track before he got me back. So yeah, it got me excited. that's what the racing is about for me. You know, this kind of races today, I really enjoyed myself.
Great to see it. Great drive. Well done.
Thanks. Thank you.